But let's talk bands a little bit then, okay? And lots of questions about, that seat that you sit in and pressure, So let's face it, you're at the Symphony Hall, Black Dyke are coming on, or Brighouse are coming on, and you're solo euphonium player with that band, and you've got to play this piece. What does that feel like?
Um, well, it kind of. I never know. I never knew what was going to happen. Really, sometimes I was absolutely terrified, and I don't mind admitting it. You talk to a lot of players who say that contest is the worst bit of what they do, especially players in
Yeah,
the premier bands or whatever you want to call them. And then of course the concerts, we get to sit back and enjoy ourselves and just do what we do. But the contest, and there was, but then again, some contests I seemed to breeze on, and it didn't seem to bother you. Never seemed to have rhyme or reason, but I always prepared for it in a particular way. And by the way, you might think, well, it must be the ones where there was the big euphonium solos where you felt under pressure. Not necessarily. I mean, I remember not Les Mis, Jesus Christ, Les Preludes.
yeah,
So, Les Preludes was the open piece in 2000 and whatever, and there was nothing to do for euphonium, but for what, I don't know why, but I remember shaking my way through that piece. It's just I've no idea. I mean, it came off all right. We didn't win. We came third, I think, as YBS won that day. But anyway, but
So
no rhyme or reason. But I did have particular things that I did to kind of have things in place should I
yeah,
start to feel a little bit of a wobble, or my knees go, or go dry, or whatever. So I always had water on stage with me. Things like phrasing and breathing was ultra planned out. I always knew exactly where I was going to breathe, and that will be planned out at least a week before the contest. So every run through, or every part of the rehearsal during the week before, I would be phrasing in exactly the same way. And I used to get a bit funny about if things changed, or the conductor started going, excuse me, going more slowly in a phrase. Or Dave King was a what's it for all that, because he loved changing things last minute, and even on stage sometimes. And Nick was always identical on stage to exactly how he'd been in rehearsal, which was great. Dave King, whether it's his creative excitement or whatever, but you can kind of see it in the beat, I guess. But he would change things, and it used to drive me mental, because not that I'm not able to think on my feet, but I just want to know,
yeah.
how slow is that phrase going to be, how much air have I got to take on board, how long are you going to pause on that high note, and all those kind of things. So planning phrases and making sure the air's sorted out. I remember Bob Childs talking about that when we were at college. He said the first thing he does when he went on stage, he was still at Black Dyke, solo euphonium then, was just get your breathing sorted out, sit down, feel your heart rate, relax your shoulders, get your air sorted out. Right, I'm ready to go. It doesn't matter actually if the heart rate's going 10 to the dozen, as long as you put in the air into the instrument in the right way. You can even have a bit of a shaky hand. That's not a problem. The rhythm's in here, the air's coming through there. Bang, you sorted. And obviously,
Yeah.
presumably, you've practiced and prepared in the right way. If you haven't done the preparation in the first place, you're kind of screwed.